Alright, so I'm rolling up on the Tomcat Museum, and unfortunately it looks like once again they are closed. We are going to turn in here and we're going to see what we can find. Oh my gosh, every time I come here, what is the deal with this place? They're never open. I'm going to jump that freaking fence is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this video done one way or the other. Okay, YouTube, I'm sorry, but I can't get in today, but I'm going to just shoot a few minutes of video on this awesome aircraft. This is the Grumman F14. I think it's the upgraded B version model. It's a multi-role aircraft originally awarded to Grumman Defense Contracting in January of 1969. Named in honor of Vice Admiral, 3.3-star Admiral Thomas Tomcat Connolly, who was also an aviator and an Olympic gymnast. Actually, he petitioned Congress to give him a lethal carrier-based multi-purpose strike fighter, and he told McNamara basically you could put a jet engine on anything, but it doesn't make it a jet. And he ended up getting the planned scrap for the alternative aircraft, and they went with the Tomcat. It first deployed in 1974. This particular Tomcat saw action with the Grim Reapers, the Fighting 103, the 32, and the VF-143 Pukin Dogs in the Gulf of Tonkin, Vietnam. You'll notice on the front of the jet aircraft, the nose cone. Well, it's a AWG-Y Hughes radar system. It's radome. It's used to control the Phoenix AIM-54 missiles. This could track and destroy targets up to 100 miles away. The radio intelligence officer, or the RIO, controls the weapon system. It can fire 6 missiles simultaneously, hitting 6 completely different targets. Not bad technology for the 1960s. You notice the Gatling gun on the side there, okay? It's a short-range gun. It's a Vulcan cannon, which is called the M61A1. It's a 20 millimeter round. It has a 6,000 per minute rate of fire cycling, or 10 seconds of fire, since the drum only holds 675 rounds, unfortunately. So it holds about 300 pounds of ammo, 200 pounds dry, and 522 pounds loaded. All right, take a look at that landing gear. That is a massive size compared to other fighters. It's made to handle the stress of a hard carrier deck landing. Remember, that deck is pitching up and down 30, 40 degrees in some cases, man. And that thing's gonna take a hit when it strikes down on the ground. It also has to be super strong for the catapult system that propels that thing from 0 to 130 miles an hour in less than 2 seconds. There's a lot of titanium and steel that go into that part to reinforce it, okay? The pilot sits in the cockpit, pushes throttle full forward. The shooter fires that thing off the deck, and it's off. It's off, and it's off to kill somebody. You notice the cockpit at the top. I don't know what type of material this is. If it's a polycarbonate, some type of space-age plastic material, or if it's just glass. I don't know. I couldn't find information on it. What I do know is that the cockpit material is an interesting secret, and it's not designed to blow through it. You don't go through that like you do on an F-16. You clear it or you die like Goose did in Top Gun. You'll notice the Martin Baker ejection seats. They're the GRU 780. They have exclusive explosives on the belts that blow when they sense salt water, so that the chute does not drag the pilot down to the bottom of the sea and kill him. Okay? Those seats take over 1,000 pounds of force. The seats take 1,000 pounds of force because even though the pilot weighs under 200 pounds, when he hits that ejection seat, the G-force that's going to pull down on that pilot is going to make him weigh a ton. Well, not a ton, but 1,000 pounds. A little under half a ton. That bottom lens device down there, if you can see it towards the front of the cone, that's actually the ALQ 1000 optical antenna. And that actually hooks up to an optical unit inside the pilot's display. Okay? The under canopy, you can see the foldable crew ladder. That's just spotted in the front canopy. We're going to go to the wings. You notice the swept back wings on the side of this Tomcat. They're called 20-degree swept, and they fold in during high speed. They also fold in when they're on the aircraft carrier, because you know real estate is very short on a carrier, especially Enterprise. There's a lot of titanium in that leading edge of that wing and throughout the wing support structures. Okay, this is a true swept wing aircraft. Unlike the F-18 Super Hornet, the wingtips do not just simply fold up and down. These wings actually go forward and aft depending on the situation of the aircraft's behavior and what the pilot needs it to do. Horizontal tailplane on the Tomcat. It has more surface area than the wings of a A4, the entire aircraft. That's how much surface area is on that rear tailplane. You'll notice the tail warning radar on the edges as well. And that's just a really cool shot there. All right, here's a shot of the turbines. These are two Pratt & Whitney TF30s if they're in the original model. I don't know if they were upgraded to the GEs. But if they are the original Pratt & Whitney TF30s, they're augmented, capable of 34,000 pounds of thrust, taking her to Mach 2.34 on afterburner. 41,800 pounds of total thrust. These motors were considered turds by the Navy, and they wanted a serious upgrade, and I think that's what these are. I think these are actually the GE motors that were put in the Super version of this aircraft, the Super Tomcat. And those aircraft engines were basically manufactured by General Electric. They're called the 110-129, and they make 50,000 pounds of thrust and takes the Tomcat to Mach 1.3 without afterburners, okay? You notice the massive tail hook in the middle of this carrier. That's basically what grabs one of the 4 tow carrier cables that are on the rear of the carrier as it lands when the pilot's calling the ball, or as otherwise called the meatball. He will go ahead and get guided by the ground crew of the pitch and angle and speed of his aircraft, and the goal is to try to hit those first couple wires. And if he misses all 3 of them, he isn't going to get a thumbs up. He's going to get a signal to keep going, and it happens. You notice the Grim Reaper. Yep, he's there. He's on the tail wing. And overall, this is an incredible aircraft. It's one of my favorite aircraft. Okay, so on the belly of this aircraft, it was meant to hold a large assortment of missiles and bombs. AIM-7 Sparrow, not very reliable. That was the old technology. AIM-9 Sidewinder, that would go on the rail or on the belly. The AIM-54 Phoenix, at the cost of $500,000 each, it could carry up to 4 of them. Usually, 6 of them, but it only carried 4 on a carrier. And it has a GBU-24 laser-guided smart bomb, 2,500-pound bombs. Unfortunately, the pylons, are not on the bottom of this belly, so I can't show you where all the weapons would go. But this baby's capable of taking care of business and bringing some brutal firepower to its adversary. One more thing I wanted to say about the rudder. The rudder on the aircraft has a low voltage formation lighting and the tail nav lights. You'll also notice the ECM antenna on the rudder, which is the electromagnetic center measure. Okay, that's all on those rudders. So those rudders are doing a lot besides just helping that aircraft navigate. You notice those massive air intakes. Those are big air intakes. Since this is an engine that's actually built into the fuselage, unlike a lot of other jet aircrafts, you got to get the air into those engines, right? Well, that's where the air comes in. And I think a person could probably easily fit in there. And good idea they closed them up. You could see a lot of you could see the pylon right there on the inner wing. Actually, they left it on where the side rail missiles would sit, and on the bottom part, I guess you could hook up missiles on there or bombs as well. They did leave a couple of pylons on the aircraft. Just a couple shots here from the front of her. I'm going to read to you the memorial plaque really quick on this beautiful aircraft. It says this Grumman F14 is number 436 of 712. It was the first in use in the first fleet of Tomcats to drop live air-to-ground ordnance. Squadron assignments: Pukin Dogs VF-143, Jolly Rangers VF-103, Swordsman and VF-32. Grim Reapers VF-101. In 2005, this aircraft came around the city of DeLand, Florida, from Oceana Naval Air Force Base in Virginia Beach, Virginia, on its final flight. After several passes through downtown DeLand and over the municipal airport, the F-14 landed for the last time, taxied to the waiting crowd, and presented the final bow of the aircraft nose. This aircraft is on loan right now from that base in Virginia. Tomcat was retired several years ago, and I have a Tomcat patch that shows Tomcat's last flight. Yeah, baby. It's a commemorative patch. It's pretty cool. I'll show that in a different video. All right, well, I was wrong about the data. That aircraft was on loan from Pensacola Naval Base. Sorry about that. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video with those Chinooks and that F-14. I hope you learned a little something. If you liked the video, please hit like, subscribe. Anything to help promote this would be greatly appreciated. And stay tuned for more. This is George Gutierrez in Central Florida saying have a great day and God bless America. Good jam. Taking a little break back to 1982.